Maxi's the truth. Maxi's the second best player on the Sixers. You know, we all know that. All basketball fans know that. Did I stutter?
You did not stutter. It sounds so beautiful to hear.
Oh yeah.
No offense, Beard. You had your time.
Who's Beard? I don't have that big of a beard. I don't know if you're talking about me.
I'm talking about the beard. You know
I don't know the beard.
The strip club prowler, James Harden.
Man, I just speak of James Harden. He did his thing. James Harden, as a Sixers and Philly fan, I'm gonna tell you this today: you don't deserve a max contract, bro. Chris Paul, by the way, is averaging 10.5 points in the fourth quarter. Let me say this one more time. Chris Paul is averaging about 10.5 points in the fourth quarter. Just think about it this way, fellas. If a team can put up about 25 points or 20 points, he's scoring about half of them. You know, and that's amazing. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Raw Sports Debate brought to you by Leslie and Michael Steven. Today, we're going to talk about Ryan Tannehill and some of the comments that he made regarding his backup quarterback that got just drafted in the third round, and also how the NBA playoffs is looking like. Okay, the Suns are up 2-0 against the Mavs. Sixers just, got a game back today, so it's 2-1. They're down 2-1 against the Miami Heat. Memphis is tied with Golden State, which is an interesting series that's going on over there as well. And then last but not the least, the Bucks and Celtics, which I think the winner is going to come from that series anyway. But let's start with Ryan Tannehill. So Ryan Tannehill made some comments, okay? Malik Willis got drafted third round this year by Tennessee Titans. Hopefully, there's a reason why every team drafts a quarterback, early, late, whatever, maybe whether they have one or not. Okay. Ryan Tannehill made some comments, they were asking about, thoughts on, the, young quarterback, learning from him and mentoring, him being a mentor. And, he basically said, it's not his job to mentor him. And if he ends up, learning from him, then, that's a good thing, but it's not his job to mentor him. They're both competing. It's a competitive league. They're both competing and, they should, each other just go for it. What are some of your thoughts, or what are your thoughts on this? Because I have a mixed emotion about this. I have like three emotions and feelings about this that I personally want to bring up. But let me hear you go.
I agree with him. I heard the clip. I agree with him. Listen, he's there. Ryan Tannehill is there to compete for a championship, to keep his starting job as long as he can.
Absolutely.
The guy drafted, same thing. So they're going to have natural competition. I think that's very healthy. At the same time, would it be the right thing to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to mentor him, whatever? Nah, because that dude's coming for my job. He was drafted for a reason. He was drafted because the team, whether it was the third round or not, he was drafted because, hey, they're looking at my replacement. And at the end of the day, you got to look out for number one first. Brett Favre saw Aaron Rodgers. All right. How do you think Brett Favre felt about that? He lost in the first round of the playoffs like Tannehill. He had threw a few picks. They drafted Aaron Rodgers. Was it a really good pick? Yes. How do you think Brett Favre felt about it? They didn't get along because he saw how talented he was. They got along when Brett Favre was the MVP runner-up a couple years later in 2007. Then they started getting along real well because he's like, hey, I'm secure in my job. Joe Montana probably couldn't stand Steve Young. You know when they got along? When Joe Montana resecured his job. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get it, man. Like and now Tannehill's not on that level, but that's just like where my mind goes. It's like, yeah, man, like it's not my job to mentor you. It's my job to compete and keep my job. If you want my job, you better keep up with me. Period.
No, I'm interested. Take. Great point. I do definitely understand that. And like the last comment you made about you're coming for my job if you want my position. Compete for it. It's I feel like more people are looking at it at something like, okay, when you have a job and then you're getting trained, for somebody to replace you. How you gonna feel about it, which I understand, but the NFL is a little bit different. It's business, and the business aspect and part about it is, what? There's always gonna be the next guy. Okay, there's always gonna be the next guy, and I think sometimes when you're an athlete, you gotta think about today and tomorrow. Okay, you got to think about today and tomorrow, meaning now in the future, meaning Ryan Tannehill has to secure his job. I think he made these comments because he doesn't feel secure in the position that he's in. Okay. If he was Tom Brady, if he was, Aaron Rodgers, all of these guys, I think he would have been like, oh, of course, I'll love to mentor this guy. I'll love to be anything, I'll be a big brother to him or whatever it takes for him to succeed. I think making these kind of comments already makes, brings a lot of tension in the locker room. Why? Because there's other people that are going to look at it like, come on, bro. You also had to sit behind somebody, and then learn from them, mentor them. But I get it. There's some people that don't think to themselves and think that they're leaders. But as an NFL player, not just an NFL player, as a starting quarterback, you got to, be assertive and act like a leader, when you're not in that position, I think that's where it brings you that kind of fear. And, like, for example, Baker Mayfield wanting a trade because the Browns were only interviewing Deshaun Watson. Why do you think he wanted a trade? Because he was like, shit, if you guys are interviewing Deshaun, I might as well find a home now. Why? Because in his heart, in his own conscience, he knows Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than I am. He's more proven, even though he's played less seasons, he's more proven than I am. So he felt, I would say he felt more insecure than, disrespected, if you ask me. Saying, Ryan Tannehill's situation is a bit different. Again, the rookie can come take his job today or tomorrow. So yes, I understand they're both competing for it. But, how the media will drag you through everything. I think, like I said, he would have been safe saying, you know what? Yeah, I would love to compete and mentor him, because you have to compete.
He was honest.
Yeah, at least he is honest.
He was honest, and the media can take a clip of that and then just run with it. And
absolutely.
And it's not like quarterback, only one person plays at a time. And that guy runs the show. It's not like even running backs, you can have dual running backs, dual tight ends, like receivers, or even just or just to be a teammate in general. The quarterback is the head honcho. So it's a little bit different. And then to your point, I agree. It's like, with the scenarios I brought up, that was one all-time great. Sensing another all-time great was coming for him. But
yeah,
if it's like, you think Aaron Rodgers was worried about Jordan Love? Nah, I mean, I'm sure he didn't say the nicest things because he's Aaron Rodgers. But you think Aaron Rodgers was worried about Jordan Love? No.
Exactly my point.
So those examples I brought up, it's like it's a little different, but it's the same kind of mindset. Yeah,
I get it, but again, that's not what they would do. You know what I mean? And that's why, guys would love to get drafted behind Rodgers and the Brett Favres and, the Brady's and Drew Brees.
And learn from them. They know they're not taking it.
Learn from them. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Tannehill knows. He's like, he's a middle of the road, top like 10 to 15 range, right? Like he's 15, about 15.
Below 15 and below, absolutely. Yes, I'll give him that.
15 to 20?
I'll take him over Jimmy G. So, yeah, 15 and below. Jimmy G is 32 and over.
Yeah,
so.
we haven't brought up Jimmy G in like a month, so I knew that was coming.
It's always going to be coming, brother.
I can't wait till the next Subway commercial. That's what's going to be coming. Subway.
I'm actually done eating Subway. I'm done eating Subway. My girlfriend is pregnant. She's not allowed to eat Subway. I don't eat Subway. Mainly because of Jimmy G, and I heard she can't eat that kind of meat.
That's poor advertising. Then you lost a customer.
Poor advertisement on Subway part because they lost meat.
Yeah,
Anyway, now let's move on to basketball. Okay. Let's talk about the Suns, the best team in the
NBA.
NBA.
You could say it.
Do I believe it?
How many teams in NBA history finished 8 games better than the next best team? A couple of the Celtic teams, a couple of the Bull teams, all-time great teams that all won the title.
All-time great teams. And this is why we're going to start with them, Mike. Relax, okay? The Suns are up 2-0 against the Mavericks and Luka, okay? I want to go off and start up with this because I want to give props where it's due. Chris Paul, I do bash you a lot because, Mike can, get your name out of his mouth. So sometimes I gotta, bring up
the gotta represent.
Of course, and I'm a sports analyst. I'm not no biased stand guy. So I gotta give him props. Chris Paul, by the way, is averaging 10.5 points in the fourth quarter. Let me say this one more time. Chris Paul is averaging about 10.5 points in the fourth quarter. Just think about it this way, fellas. If a team can put up about 25 points or 20 points, he's scoring about half of them. And that's amazing. You have how many guys in rotation in basketball? About at least 8 people, okay? And if this guy is always putting up at least 10 points, and throughout this whole playoffs, first round, so every game he averages about 10 points in a fourth quarter. That's amazing. His numbers are off the chart. He's missed the clutch in the fourth. And I don't think the Mavs have enough firepower. Okay, I did say the game will go to 6 or 7, but until the Mavs win one tonight, they might be closing them out. They might be closing them out in 5. And this is all because, I don't think the Mavericks have, good defenders. They have a couple of, tall guys, but they're not great defenders. JaVale McGee and DeAndre Ayton are having a field day with the Mavs, okay? They don't have no centers that can stop these guys. And also even their guards and wings, they're not big. They're not wide. Luka, yeah, I get it. He's 6'7", but his defense is like, James Harden 2.0. I think he's right now he's definitely a better scorer, better player, better everything than James Harden. But when James Harden was having his MVP season, I think I can see a lot of similarity here. Let me go there and put up 42 points. Let me go and put up 45 points. Let me go up, and get 1 steal, 8 rebounds, and not really do much on defense. Everybody is blown by him. They're bringing the screen when it's Luka. They're taking advantage of him. Brunson is a good player, but defensively, he's not the biggest guy. You know what I mean? Finney Smith Jr., all these guys that the Dallas Mavericks have, they're not guys that can really stop Booker, that could really stop Chris Paul. Mikal Bridges even having a great season and great series already. And that guy is lengthy. Him, Crowder, Cam Johnson, they're locking up people. They're throwing all these guys at Luka. Yeah, he's still getting his 40-point and all of that, but still, it's like he's getting 15 of those points in garbage time in fourth quarter, when the Suns are almost like, killing them.
In game 1, yeah. Game 2, no. Game 2, he scored early, and what happened? He died out.
Exactly.
Ran out of
Game
steam.
1, they figured him out. Game 2, he figured them out, but fourth quarter, he didn't have it. Sometimes you can't do it all, and that's where I think it's catching up to the Mavs. I think they should get back on the drawing board, find a trade or two, get a couple of centers and some wings in there because Luka needs help, and Luka needs to help himself, get better. He needs to get agile and a little quicker on defense for sure.
Yeah. I think I forget what I said last week. I might have said Suns in 6, but then I went out there. I think I told you I went out to see game 1, which was fun. And I predicted Suns in 5 before it. Thought about it a little longer, and now I'm either 4 or 5. Because it reminds me of last year. Remember last year they struggled with the Lakers, and there was injuries. Obviously, Paul was injured. This year, Booker was injured, and it was a lower seed that was very lengthy. And had, a lot of talent on it. And then what they do last year, they got out of the first round in 6 tough games. And then they swept the Nuggets, who were just a bad matchup. And I think that might happen again. Now, dude, Luka's incredible. However, you saw in the fourth quarter of game 2, Paul just targeted him. Like he was just barbecue chicken, that dude. He went by him. He's like, you can't guard me. And then Booker took turns. They were putting him in pick and rolls, just like they did a couple months ago against James Harden. To your point, like they did the same thing to now. James Harden has become a slightly better defender, but he's not a good perimeter defender still to this day. Like he's a good post defender. So, what Chris Paul's able to do because he picked the Suns, who are a young, very talented, well-coached team and deep team, he can pace himself, get everyone involved, and then just go on these spurts, 19 points in the fourth quarter, 19 points in the fourth quarter, 14 points in like 5 minutes the other day. So he has the luxury to do that where Luka doesn't, so it's hard to say who's a better player, for instance, but Paul's able to do this. He wasn't able to do that early in his career. He's able to, that's why he's having these crazy like playoff games now. He didn't get better. Yeah, he got smarter, but he didn't get better. He's always been great. He was quicker.
His support and cast definitely has been more complimented, and coaching as well too, because he was stuck with Glenn Rivers for a while. So we got to address that as well too. But like again, I said, I think the Suns is definitely going to take this one, especially if they win tonight. Listen, it's barbecue chicken game 4, okay? Unless they come out, unless the Mavericks come out tonight, guns blazing, and get the momentum back on their side, like Philly did, won by 20. I don't think I think it's a done deal.
They smell blood, bro. They smell blood.
They smell blood.
And Booker's due for a big game. Like he had a really big first half of game 1, but he's still coming back from the hamstring. He's due for a big game. And that's the thing, man. Like they're so deep. They're so talented. Look what happened. Ayton and McGee got in foul trouble and Biyombo came in. And it was like 4 for 4 or something like that. So they're so deep that you could start taking away Paul, then you got to deal with Booker and you got to deal with the supporting cast. So it's like, that's what Booker never had and Paul never had. Like, this is what Paul and Kobe would have looked like, bro. There's a reason that the league didn't want to see them together, man. They would have been really, only injuries would stop those guys from winning multiple rings. When you watch this now.
To cap off with your point, like you said, they have a bench. And you remember, like I said before, the Mavericks' problem right now is their defense. But again, like last episode, I was pointing out how they're not a good matchup to the Suns because they don't have a bench. I can't name you 5 solid players coming off the Mavericks bench, okay? They've been outscoring them every bench points, even last series. This series is going to get a lot tougher, The Jazz couldn't figure it out. Luka tortured them. They didn't have a bench, that was really pressing on their neck. But, the Suns got it all. And it's going to be, a tougher matchup as, it goes and goes.
But props to Luka. Real quick, just Luka's still phenomenal. 80 points in 2 games. Excellent player. He's just, the Suns are playing him right now. They're like, listen, you can do what you do, but we're going to attack you on defense. We're going to make you play both ends, and that's very, very difficult.
Absolutely. So okay, now moving on to 76ers in Miami. Miami would have the best record. They, had a great first 2 games without Joel Embiid. On the Sixers, won 2-0, and then today, Embiid coming back, they won by 20. What are your thoughts on that series? It's 2-1 right now in favor of the Miami Heat.
Well, first I want to ask you, how does Embiid? What's his health like? Is he fine? And how is his thumb? How's his head?
He's hurt. He came back with a mask on, and like I said, unless Embiid comes back with the Kobe mask and does what he does, it's
Sean Prince mask.
Pack your bags and let's go home. Okay. But Embiid came back. Maxi's the truth. Maxi's the second best player on the Sixers. We all know that. All basketball fans know that. Did I stutter?
You did not stutter. It sounds so beautiful to hear.
Oh yeah.
No offense, Beard. You had your time.
Who's Beard? I don't have that big of a beard. I don't know if you're talking about me.
I'm talking about the Beard.
I don't know the beard.
The strip club prowler, James Harden.
Man, I just speak of James Harden. He did his thing. James Harden, as a Sixers and Philly fan, I'm gonna tell you this today. You don't deserve a max contract, bro. If you want to stay in Philadelphia, you need to find a way to get a nice contract that's not going to be a max. And let's give that max contract to Maxi. Okay. We'll find something for you, but you're not worthy of a max contract. I'm sorry. You might get a max contract with like maybe Paces or something, but we're going to have to let you go if you're demanding of a max contract. You're not playing like a max contract player. Okay. Since the rules been changed, James Harden has never scored a 40-point game. Just so you're aware of that. All right. Since they changed that, initiating contact to get the fouls and get to the free throw line and all the sarcastic things that him and Trae Young were doing, he hasn't been able to, put up a 40-point game, which, we all know that he's offensively great, one of the greatest to ever do it on the offensive side. But he's not doing it anymore. I still respect his IQ on the court, offensively. Like I said, he can pass the ball better than anybody. If, like I said, better than anybody, if not, just like Paul and Luka and all of these guys can do it. James Harden can do it too. But he's not scoring. Like, he's not that prolific scorer that we know him to be. So I'm glad Embiid is back. His health isn't the best right now. He's still playing through a thumb injury and a broken eye socket. So right now, they just having them beat on the court draws two people. Tobias had what's his name? Not Tobias, but Danny Green had 18 points in the third quarter. Why? Because Embiid is getting double teamed, and my man gonna pass it out. Not always, but when he does, guys are hitting shots. So, like I said, I'm not scared of the Miami Heat. I'm not. Never been.
But you're picking the Heat. You're picking the Heat in what? 6?
I never said the Heat. Like I said, if Embiid is back, 6s and 6, 6s and 6, so 6s and 7.
Butler's playing well, bro.
Home. I don't care. I got a Jimmy Butler jersey that was, Philly Jimmy Butler jersey. Jimmy, my guy. I've been rocking with him since Marquette and, Chicago Bulls. You know this. And, I've had 4 his jerseys. I respect the guy. I love him. But this is for Embiid to, get back to the final. But like I said, it doesn't matter who makes it because it's a Celtics Bucks thing going on right now.
Now listen, I'm gonna give you my thought. Yeah,
ahead,
let me give you my thoughts on the Sixers. So I still picking the Heat in 7. I have faith in the Heat. Now, yeah, Maxey probably is the better player than Harden. You want to know why? We could talk about Harden being a great passer and everything. You know what his numbers say right now through right now? 19 points and 9 assists. Great. That's nice. Right? But
on how many shots taken?
40% from the field. Mm-hmm. He's not 40% from the field is not good. And he's got 36 turnovers in 9 games. He had 7 tonight. So his assist to turnover ratio is like 2.5 to 1. So no, he's not passing as efficiently as he needs to. He's not no Nash or Paul or these other kids. He's not doing that. Like, if you're not going to be
I was trying to make him sound good, look good, Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
No, I feel you. It's like, because again, like I'm shocked, honestly, about.
Yeah.
Because last year with the Nets, he was freaking awesome. Like, I had Nets fans saying, I can't believe Harden's this great of a passer. Like, you should have told me that. I'm like, no, you should have known. Like,
everybody knew Harden. He's been a great passer.
A lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people didn't realize how great a passer he was.
Because he was more focused on always scoring, get into the hoop and, get into the free throw line.
But now teams know he doesn't have that explosion. He's not getting the calls. Mm-hmm. So it's not as easier for him to make those passes. Yep. So that's why his turnovers are up. That's why, he's not as efficient as he was last year. So he's got to adjust quickly, man, because tonight, 4 of 11, 17 points, 7 turnovers. Some assists, but bro, Embiid needs help. But
Embiid does need help.
Embiid's going to get better. Look at what Booker happened. Okay, it's a different injury, but you get back out there, and then Embiid could start putting up 30, 40 pointers real quick. You know that.
And we know that. Everybody knows that. But here's my thing, right? Embiid coming back from, a freakish injury, I couldn't even, bro. I'd be in the ER right now.
Don't get hurt again, bro.
These guys are, monsters, if you ask me. So here's my thing. If Embiid is back, not on his, not 100%, and they can still find a way to beat the Heat, who's supposedly the best team in the Eastern Conference by 20 on a bad foot, I'm letting you know right now. 6s and 6, 6s and 7. Either or. It's a 76ers. That 7, we either gonna go to the 7 or the 6. Either or the 6 is gonna take it.
I'm taking the ERS and putting the LO before it. Losers.
Hey, Sam, like I said, if Embiid is healthy, we going all the way, brother. We going all the way.
All the way to what? The Eastern Conference
All the way
Finals?
to the Eastern Conference Final.
All the way. All right.
Because Bucks and the Celtics got some business to handle.
Bucks and 7, baby. Who you got?
And speaking of Bucks and Celtics, all right, I still think the winner's coming from that game. But that game is going to 7. Either or.
Pick one.
You're going to put me on the spot like that. Pick one, huh?
What we doing?
Celtics in 7.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Celtics
in 7. Celtics in 7. You go Bucks in 7. And I think Celtics in 7 because they have 2 superstars. I said it. 2 superstars, not 2 rising superstars. I don't want to hear that. Okay.
Who's the second one?
Jaylen Brown.
All-star.
Is a superstar. Ooh. Jaylen Brown will be the second best player on the 76ers. Okay. Jaylen Brown will be the best player on the Pacers. Jaylen Brown will be the second, if not the best player on Atlanta Hawks. Okay.
That's fair. I like that.
Overshadowed by Jason Tatum, which is still okay because, they find time to share the ball. They know how to share the ball. They know how to share the spotlight. I love these guys both. And you know what's crazy? The Sixers could have had both of them. But instead, we chose Marcus Fultz and Ben Simmons. But we're not going to get into that anyway.
Could have Bridges too, right?
We drafted him, but we couldn't. His mom works for the Sixers, so I guess whatever it is.
I don't know the story.
That's why it's still in sports. He should have been able to play for us. He won a Villanova. I love that dude. He played with Brunson. They won a national title when Perkins hit that shot. I do remember that game. So trust me, I'm a Bridges fan. I wish he won the Defensive Player of the Year, but with all those charges that Marcus Smart took. I guess he deserved that. But anyway, like I was saying, I think Celtics in 7. They have a lot of firepower. They can spread the floor better than any team in the NBA. 1 through 5 can hit the 3, okay? Depending on who they have at 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, like I said, if they have Horford at 5, he's hitting the 3,
What's the latest on Middleton?
Williams
coming back?
Who?
What's the latest on Chris Middleton? Is he coming back?
Middleton was out for 3 to 4 weeks. It's been 3 weeks now. So next week, possibly he could be back.
Listen, and like I said last week, Celtics are the better team. Bucks have the better player and a little bit more experience because the Celtics they've gotten Eastern Conference Finals before. They've been through some battles together. The Kyrie era didn't work out well for Kyrie reasons.
Kyrie, Kemba, Dennis
but it just didn't mesh well. It was too many perimeter guys. The bottom line is, I'm still sticking with the Bucks, but I could hedge either way. And I definitely think the winner of this series is going to the finals. You think they're going to win the title? I think they're going to lose to the Suns.
Like I said, first of all, let's hope the Suns make it because them boys that we about to talk about next, both of them, they serious. When I'm talking about the Golden State Warriors and Memphis Grizzlies, okay?
Yeah.
That series is tied 1-1 right now, and I think it's the most exciting series going on right now besides the Celtics-Bucks game. Why? Because, again, Giannis is the best player in the playoffs right now. He might be the best player in the world. Skill-wise, I think KD is still the best player, but KD's not in the playoffs. And I don't know if I'm going to pick KD to win. If I need to win one game, I'm going with Kevin Durant or LeBron. But if I need to win a 7-game series, I'll take Giannis. That man is powerful, man. He's shown me a lot of things that, I haven't seen. His shot is good, better than,
muscles matter.
Muscles matter. And, hey, if KD had the muscle that Giannis had, KD would be the best player to ever touch the basketball.
If the queen had balls, she'd be king, bro.
But we're not there yet. But anyway, like I was talking about earlier before, the Warriors are in phenomenal shape right now. Curry, you can tell that, he's getting his legs under him. Klay Thompson, same. He had a bad game last game, but I still think the Warriors will find a way to, squeeze this one out of Memphis. This game,
You picked Memphis last week.
I did pick Memphis last week, but I'm telling you, from what I saw, it's going to 7 and it's going either way. But you're not going to put me on the spot for this one because, like I said, I'm conflicted, brother. I'm conflicted. I might be conflicted next week and pick Dallas Mavericks if they come back and win a game or two. If it's 2-2, Dallas is out. It's taking this thing, all right? I'm worse than Stephen A. I'm going to switch it up, but that's because I'm honest, okay? It's not because today I want to pick this and bandwagon that. No. I'm not even picking the Sixers to win anything besides beating the Heat, possibly. But like I was saying, Jordan Poole coming off the bench, personally, that was my vote for most improved player. Him coming in from the bench, putting up 30 points is amazing. Like Klay and Curry can already do that. Draymond, we know how important he is on the offensive and defensive side of the ball game. Having a guy like Poole coming in doing all of that is just tremendous. Okay. And this is why I do personally think that, Warriors are going to hedge this. But whoever wins tonight might take it all.
They're not playing tonight. They're playing tomorrow. The NBA gave them a rest. They want Klay Thompson to get a little rest.
I respect that. So I guess whoever wins tomorrow,
that's it.
Taking it.
I will be honest with you. I really like John Moran. He's my favorite player in the series. I am rooting for the Warriors because I want blood. I want the Suns to beat the Warriors. So. And I can't wait. Steph Curry is an average to above average defender, but he will be hunted by the Suns. And I can't wait for it. And Klay Thompson, they're going to test his stamina. They're going to test all that. They don't want to deal with Draymond and Poole and these other guys. They're going to test those two sharpshooters. Their time is done. They had their run. They made 5 straight finals. It's over. They might squeak by the Grizzlies, and the Suns are going to give it to them. I'm rooting for that. Warriors in 7, and then Suns in 6.
Wow. Okay. I respect that. But let's not forget the same way that Paul could torture Steph. Steph could do the same to Paul. You know why? Because ain't nobody really could stay in front of that guy, like one-on-one, The shot is too quick. He's crafty, and then there's some guys that are just not meant to be guarded one-on-one. It's not possible.
You know what? You know what, bro? Like when I watched the Clippers and Warriors, do you know what happened? Paul was guarding Steph because he was their best perimeter defender. And the Warriors had all these guys. They threw Draymond at him. They threw Klay at him. They threw Livingston. The Warriors had all those guys to throw at Steph. And I was like, yo, this isn't fair. But guess what? Tables have turned. Now Paul has the better. They have Bridges. They have
Crowder. They have like Johnson. They're
going to throw those guys at Steph. Tables have turned. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that matters. Like, you got to be able to admit that. That's true.
But absolutely. Yeah. But Steph has something that they don't have.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole coming off the bench with 30 points, brother. So yes, I do think this NBA series is going all
We're picking the Warriors.
Final. I am picking. So let me tell you right now. So I'm going with Suns in 6, Sixers in 7, Warriors in 7.
We agree. Final.
Celtics in 7.
All right.
Celtics in 7, Warriors in 7, Suns in 6. Especially if Suns win tonight, might be Suns in 4. Might be Suns in 4. Bring that meme back. Bring that guy back.
Yeah.
Suns in 4, But other than that, that was a great episode today. Again, with my brother, Michael Steven. This is the Raw Sports Debate brought to you live. All right.
Peace out, y'all. Go eat, Leslie.
Bro, don't tell me twice, bro.